little but mighty!
Hello everyone, my name is Miss Genevieve and I'm an English teacher at Little But Mighty. Today, I'll be sharing some tips on how to avoid plot holes in your story. First off, let me explain what a plot hole is. A plot hole is created when there are missing details in your story. The reader is left to question what is happening and might be confused. Fixing plot holes matter because it affects your reader's experience and enjoyment of your story. Since the reader relies on you to provide details to stay fully immersed in the story, it is important that you select the right details to include. Now, let's take a look at a story that includes a number of plot holes. Imagine this. You are asked to write a story about doing the right thing, and you've selected the picture of a piggy bank. What burning questions do you have? If you realize that something was amiss with events 2, 3, and 4, then you're right. Now, let's examine closely what the problems are with this storyline. Then, we'll include some details to make the story flow more logically. Number 1, no setup. Logic gaps typically happen at the rising action, or what we would call the build-up, because the writer has not thought things through or thoroughly explained what caused the problem. If the problem emerges out of nowhere, then your readers will question the credibility of your story. Here's the solution to number 1. Explain your character's intentions for acting or behaving in a certain way. Why did number 1 want to steal number 2's piggy bank? Here's an example. While watching the television, number 1 saw an advertisement of the latest PlayStation. Number 1 wanted to borrow from number 2, however, number 2 refused. Can you see how I've added in more details to explain the character's intentions to help the story flow more logically? Number 2, problem not clearly defined. When a problem is not clearly defined in your story, it reminds your readers of real-life logic. The jarring progression in the sequence of events makes it difficult for your readers to truly believe that the incident took place. Now, let's look back at the original storyline. If you noticed, the writer has actually forgotten to explain how number 2 discovered that number 1 stole her piggy bank. Here's the solution to number 2. Provide details of how number 2 found out that number 1 stole her piggy bank. Perhaps it was made of porcelain and placed on top of a shelf that was hard to reach. Number 1 tried to reach out for it, but dropped it instead. Number 3, be aware of contradictions. A contradiction is a situation or an idea that is in opposition with one another. Although it is wise not to drag out your story, it is important that you've provided sufficient details to give your reader a sense that the problem was successfully resolved in your story. Additionally, you want to make sure that you have actually addressed the topic in the question. Okay, and here's the solution to the final one, number 3. Instead of having number 1 tell number 2 that dropping the piggy bank was an accident, use good judgment here. It will make more sense for number 1 to own up to his mistake, which results in him learning the value of honesty. This solution will link better to the topic and the ending, since number 1 is doing the right thing by confessing that he had tried to steal the piggy bank. When elaborating on consequences, you'll also want to include some details to give your reader an idea of how number 2 responded to the situation. Did number 2 forgive number 1? As you can see from the revised storyline, we've added in more details to help the story flow logically. By adding in these details, you'll be able to expand on the topic more too. Alright, thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope that these tips were useful and gave you a better idea of how to craft an engaging story that flows smoothly and logically. For more English and writing tips, please check out our channel for other videos. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye! If you've been liking our content, please remember to like and subscribe.